Papasquatjon coming at ya. I forgot to look this up already, but we are going to listen to a song from Grandmaster DST. Grandmixer, sorry. Grandmixer DST. I want some information about you. Hey, DXT? DST. No. Oh, yep. Early in his career, he was known as Grandmaster DST. So, he is now Grandmaster DXT. So, Derek Showard, better known by his stage name Grandmixer DXT. I keep mixing up Grandmixer and Grandmaster, sorry about that, is an American musician, one of the earliest to use turntables as a musical instrument in the 1980s. I am listening to this today because this guy was mentioned in the book Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and I wanted to check it out because it was just mentioned like literally a half an hour to me, mentioned to me a half an hour ago in this book, and I wanted to check it out. Early in his career, he was known as Grandmixer DST, a reference to Delancey Street on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, New York City. He was featured in the influential hip-hop film Wild Style. Oh, I watched that like last year, but I did not recognize most of the people in there. He is widely recognized as a pioneer. Grandmixer DXT is credited as being the first turntablist. I'm highly doubtful of that claim. He was the first person to establish the turntable as a fully performable and improvisational musical instrument. Aha! That is entirely possible given what I read in, or what I had read to me, because I'm listening to it on Audible. In Can't Stop, Won't Stop, there was a number of improvements that were being done with turntables and what could be done with them because of scratching. So you could, and they were being engineered into the actual devices as opposed to being like sort of jury-rigged together. So you could actually listen to something ahead of time, cue it up, get it ready to go. You could preview the songs, I think that's what they called it, and then made it easier to drop the needle and all sorts of different things, and allowed you to switch back and forth between them, all that sort of stuff. So it could very well be that he is the first turntablist because he may have had this stuff before anybody else. He is also credited with helping popularize DJing through his scratching on Herbie Hancock's single Rocket. I did not know that was him. From the Bill Laswell and Material produced album Future Shock. He is featured in the 2001 documentary Scratch. That is also a movie I may have to check out. Hello, kitten. Thank you for scratching the carpet. Super interesting. We are going to listen to Grandmixer DST with a song from 1983 called Crazy Cuts. This is the original 12-inch version. And I'm assuming this is, and this was also, I believe, an early track released by Rick Rubin and Chuck D's company, or he was involved with them, or maybe I'm conflating all that because it was mentioned in the chapter that I was listening to. I will also try and find that out too. Grandmixer DST. Okay, let's check this out. 8 minutes long.
The Grandmixer was working hard, trying to invent a new form of scratching, so that the elevation of hip-hop could continue. Unaware of the fact that not only was he inventing a new scratch form, but was altering the structure of basic DJ. To him, he found it a success. But his colleagues found him disturbed and immediately had him committed. They say he was mad, he was insane, and his cuts were crazy.
Yeah, so this is the sample that either was used or ended up being used in Rocket, and we've watched Rocket on the channel before. So it must have been, this must have come out after that. Oh, those horns. Absolutely the best thing about this is the scratching and the electronic portion of the song. The singing isn't doing anything for me, and I don't even want to talk about it because it just doesn't matter. It's the scratching and the music in the background, especially when it really sounds like it's that section of the Rocket video, because it is so interesting to hear this actual song after having been aware of it and knowing it from Herbie Hancock's Rocket for literally almost 40 years. Holy crap. And it's so cool to hear this original version. Cuts on the night, yeah, I got those crazy cuts on the night all the time. I got those crazy cuts on the night, yeah, and I know you're gonna like it. See, and you don't hear this stuff anymore either. Like, you might hear some scratching every now and again in a song, but it's pretty unusual in my experience. I don't know, maybe there's a some large section of hip hop that still uses a ton of scratching, but just to have these like long scratch breaks and things like that is, I mean, I think it would be fun to bring back some of that stuff, but it's definitely of this time period, like very, very much early 80s. This is, the DJ was really showing off, and probably this died away because the DJ stopped being as important because the producer took over, and then the producer wasn't going to be scratching on an album. He was making sure that they were making sure that it was turning out the way they wanted it to turn out, and if they wanted scratching, they'd get somebody to come in to do scratching. So that's the reason why it's kind of faded away over time, or really kind of dropped out in the 80s sometime. It's just so fun. So that was also just a perfect example of like scratching, and he's scratching with one turntable, and then when that beat drops, he's bringing in the second turntable, because he's not just letting go of the album and letting it play, because he's still scratching, and then a new part of the song comes in. It's pretty cool. And he may have even had 3 turntables, if I'm remembering what the book said correctly. That's cool. Nice. Huh. Some rock-ish guitar. That's cool horns. Yeah, super fun song. Definitely part of the whole b-boy era. Lots of long sections of the song where you could do your dancing and just throw down with each other. Really, really super cool. Really neat. Yeah, there's parts of it that I don't like. The singing just doesn't really add anything for me, and it's really very much about the music. It's super long, but again, because you were dancing, that's what they wanted to do. And also, the thing I found out from this Can't Stop, Won't Stop is one of the reasons why they got turned down in the beginning, like when that Sylvia Gloria Robinson, I forget her, Sylvia, I think it is Robinson, approached DJ Cool Herc and said, "Hey, I want to put you on a record." He said, "No, that's not gonna work," is because he thought it wasn't going to be possible to replicate what went on at one of these huge parties where they would just play music and mix things together, and he didn't think you could get that same kind of energy going. And that's also why the music like the message, whatever the first one was that we talked about the other day, I don't remember, um, and it was like 15 minutes long, but the DJs at the time thought it was successful because they had actually managed to capture kind of that energy and the feeling of getting together at one of these big parties and managed to fit it into a 15-minute song. And obviously since then things have gotten shorter and shorter and shorter, and it's got more poppy and or at least consumable as a shorter thing because people kind of whittled down their ideas to fit into a shorter song. But super interesting where this fits in that whole time period, and the fact that this was made so people could get out and dance. And I think it's awesome. It sounds so cool. Pop Squat, checking out. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. Come on back.